Hey YouTube land, Paul back here again with another video right at you. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long ass time. Before I begin, I just like to say I hope everybody had a good Christmas. Happy New Year to everybody. Good health, good life, and I hope you have a good 2023 this year for everyone, to include myself. And basically, it's been a while. I understand it's been like 2, maybe 3 months since I shot and done a video like this. Really missed it. Never really had the time. Work, family, blah blah blah, same old, same old. And I don't know if it's just me, guys, but I feel like the time's kind of running away with me, if you know what I mean. It's going really quick. Like today here in London, it's Monday afternoon, and it's Monday today, and before you know it, it's Sunday. It's just really crazy how time goes fast and how the week runs away with us. Anyway, enough rambling. This is my complete collection on my books that I'm currently reading or still yet to read. So for the most part, it's Stephen King, because I'm a massive fan of Stephen King. I don't have the most, but I have a modest amount of books. Now I bought most of these, or most of these books from my good friend Craig Burton. If you stumble on this video, mate, hope you're well, and I just thought I'd give you a quick shout out because you're definitely worth shouting out. He's a top man. He's had a few YouTube channels. He's been changing his name, and yeah, so I'm not sure where he's at the moment in terms of content or what he's actually creating. But anyway, I thought I'd give him a mention anyway, because most of this stuff is his, and he gave me a really good deal. He sorted me out. Some is mine, but I bought a big stack of him, and yeah, I just thought I'd mention that anyway in this portion of the video. So, first book, and I'm gonna put my goggles on because I call my glasses goggles, so because I can't see a thing without them when it comes to reading. So this is a Dean R. Cortez book, and that's The Watchers. I thought I'm gonna do it in this style of filming because it's just something different. And this is my new rug, by the way. Got rid of that black and white one. So yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I've watched the movie numerous times, but I haven't actually read this book yet. So I'm really happy to have that one. Let's put that there to one side. The next one is a Stephen King book, and this is a sci-fi horror, The Tommyknockers, or thriller, should I say. And again, I've seen this movie, I've read this book. It took me like forever to read. I mean, it's a pretty lengthy book. It's a lot of pages. But I got through it. It took me about, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm one of the slowest readers on the planet. Probably took me about 6 months to read. Like, started it, stopping it, starting it, stopping it, little by little, few paragraphs or few pages in my, few pages every day, and I got there in the end. But that's The Tommyknockers. Love the movie. I love the book even more, actually. In fact, I may prefer the book more than the movie. That's that. File that to the side. The next one, Again, it's another Stephen King, and that's Thinner. Now this book here, I haven't watched the movie and I haven't read the book, so I'm not sure with a title like that if it's about some kind of overweight person's gone thin, or I have no idea, to be honest. I've never seen the movie and I've never read the book, so I can't wait to watch this. I mean, to read this, watch this. Okay, I can't wait to watch it and read it, because I actually have the movie on Blu-ray and I haven't read this book, so I hope, guys, that this angle of shooting is fine, you know. I just thought I'd try something different as I'm sitting down in my couch and I'm just sort of like pointing my camera down and shooting. The next one is another Stephen King book, and that's 4 Past Midnight. This is another 6-month job. Well, no, actually, it took me about 4.5 months. Maybe I enjoyed this book more than the Tommyknockers, I don't know. But this is even bigger than the Tommyknockers. You've got a lot more pages. You can see it's quite... Yeah, it's quite a lengthy book, that one. But I highly enjoyed this one. I never watched the movie, but I read the book. So now I read the book, I need to watch the movie, because I really, really enjoyed the book and I highly recommend it. And you know, if anyone is taking up reading like regularly, then I highly recommend, and you like horror like me, I definitely recommend Stephen King for sure. I mean, you got to have Stephen King in your collection. But that's my perception of that. The next one is another Stephen King. Yep, you guessed it, Stephen King again, and that's The Shining. Great movie, great book. I really enjoyed this one, and again, I preferred the book more than the movie. I don't know why. It was just more in depth, a lot more in detail, and I really enjoyed this one. This took me about 3-4 months to read, I think. Something like that. I'm a really slow reader, guys. I'm not one of those guys that would pick up a book and read it in a week. There's no chance. I don't have that kind of time anyway. The next one is another Stephen King, and that's Carrie. Great book, great movie. I love this I love the original Carrie. Yeah, this took me only a couple of weeks to read. I did read this one pretty quick because it's only a shorthand book, you know, a short book. That's Carrie. I don't really need to cover the bases with that movie because everybody knows about Carrie. Now this is 4 novels by Stephen King, and so it's like a compilation. You can see Rage, The Long Walk, Road Work, The Running Man. I haven't read this one yet, so I want to sort of get into that. So stack is growing. The next one is a Thomas Harris book, and that's The Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon. Obviously, I've seen these movies. It's been a long time though since I've seen them, so my memory is a bit fuzzy. I need to rewatch the movies. I haven't read the book, but I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic read as well. Another Stephen King book, and one of my favorite movies. I haven't read this book either. That's Salem's Lot. Yeah, it's a fairly thick book. There's Mr. King again. That's Salem's Lot. I love that cover, actually. I really love it. Nice and simplistic. Okay. Now this is a Sean Houston book, and this is Death Day. Haven't read this one, but it comes highly recommended from my friend. He says you should give it a read, so I'm gonna do that. Looks pretty interesting. I know this particular one. In fact, actually, quite a lot of these books, they actually, you know, they're quite hard to get in this condition as well. They're like out of print or whatever, so they're not easy to come by, and they are, some of them can be quite expensive as well, like really expensive. Another actually, yeah, it is another Sean Hudson book. Heathen. Sorry, I had to put my glasses on there. I don't know nothing about this one. This is a recent one I picked up. So I think this was pretty cheap. It wasn't that expensive. You know, the Stephen King ones, they were like bloody expensive. I mean, most of these I got from my mate Craig, but if you had to go out and buy them, like on eBay or whatever, or you know, like what do you call it, Gumtree and things like that, maybe Facebook page, marketplace, you're gonna pay quite a bit of money for those ones. Okay, so oh yeah, and then I've got, you know, this is a fitness book. This is not horror at all. It's just I'm into the, you know, weights and stuff, so I go to the gym a few times in the week, and I read this book. It's pretty good. You know, there's a lot of nice tips there, what to eat and how to exercise, when to exercise, what you should stay away from when eating, and yeah, it's a really good read. So, you know, and I'm also subscribed to this guy's channel as well, so yeah, it's not all about the horror, you know what I mean? So yeah, so his channel is called Matt Does Fitness. I pretty enjoy his content, actually. To be fair, he puts in a lot of effort in his channel, and yeah, I really enjoy this book. And yeah, I don't know if that one's still available. I'm not too sure about that, but I got that when it first came out in Sainsbury's. I bought it right away. He was announcing it on his channel that he was releasing this book, so I jumped all over it. So I've covered all my hardback books. Now we're going to do the paperbacks. So apparently, the first one is a quite a rare one by P.T. Foster, and that's the Vow. I have not read this one yet, so I really don't know. I mean, I started it, and to be honest, it's just one of those books I need to sort of go back on it again. When I was reading it, I was being distracted, and yeah, it was really hard to understand it, so I need to go back on that book and read it again. Another rare book is by Harold Lee Friedman, and that's Crib. Now you guys can look you can go ahead and look these up. These are like quite expensive. You know, they're not the cheapest. I mean, even in this condition, you're going to pay quite a bit of money for these. At least for these two titles I just showed you now anyway. Again, I have not read this one. I haven't started it yet. But Vow, I need to see that again. I need to see that. I've been watching too many movies, man. So I need to I need to read that. Start reading it again, because I started it. I read a few chapters, and then I don't know. I just stopped. I got distracted too much, and I didn't make sense of the book. So I need to go back on that one. That's that one there, the Vo. And Crib, that one I need to start the book. We already covered the Salem's Lot. This is the paperback version. This is a nice cover as well. I actually quite like that cover. Yeah, it's quite a cheap book compared to the hardback. I love Salem's Lot anyway, so. Stephen King paperback book. Again, that's Misery. I love this movie. I love the book. Book was amazing. In fact, honestly, I want to read it again. It's so good. Yeah, this book is definitely well done. Well made, for sure. Recommend that one. Another Sean Hudson again, Death Day, but this is the paperback version. This is the cheap of it. You see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. The paperback, this version here, is your regular Joe. Like, you can pick this up anywhere. It's quite cheap to pick up, yeah? But now, if you want the hardback edition, well, that's a different story altogether. Do you know what I mean? You want this one, the hardback, you're going to be paying quite a bit of money. But the paperback is cheap. It's cheap as chips. Another Sean Hudson, that's Slugs. Good book, very short. I've read this within a week. Enjoyed the movie as well. But again, I slightly preferred the book over the movie. I felt like it covered more detail. Stephen King again. This is Night Shift again. This is paperback. See, some are worth a lot of money on the hardback, and then some as a paperback, they're not really worth anything. But this is a rare one. This again is quite expensive. I can't remember how much this goes for. I haven't looked it up for a while, but even in this condition, you're looking at about £40-50. And I kid you not. It's really odd with books. It's really strange. So the first two I showed you, Crib and Vo, those ones, they're like super expensive, along with this one. Now I've watched the movie Night Shift, and I really like that one. It was pretty interesting. So, yeah. This one, you can see it's pretty original, pretty old. So, love that cover art as well. I'm trying to think if I read this one or not. No, I don't think I read this one. No, I haven't read this one. I'm mixing it up with something else. Another Sean Hudson film. I got films on the brain, man. Sean Hudson book, and that's Victims. Again, this one. Quite expensive to buy. And that's it, guys. That's a quick overview of my books. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let's put that fitness book down actually over here, because it kind of makes no sense. I've got all them horror books and then I've got a fitness book, but it is what it is. It's just the one and only book that I have read, and because I'm into, you know, my fitness. I'm no guru in any way, but you know, I do like going to the gym, and I like watching this guy's channel, and yeah, he's got some good tips in there anyway. But basically, those are all my horror books that I've read and going to read. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Thank you for sticking with me and being patient. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, and hope I'll shoot another video very soon. You'll take it easy.